Why does it sometimes feel like you can't make meaningful progress towards your long-term goals? You know what to do, you have the time to do it, and for some reason you just can't make yourself do it despite knowing what you want or what you think you want. So I spoke to two people recently, and while they couldn't be any more different from each other, one of them was, a guy in his 30s, he's in a relationship, and another was a woman in her 20s who is recently out of a relationship. They're both, intelligent people who have long-term goals they want to work on, but no matter what they did, they just can't make themselves work on those goals. And this happens so much, and a lot of people experience this. A lot of people experience like knowing what to do. I know what I want to do, but they can't make themselves do it. So people will say, oh, you're just procrastinating. It's procrastination. Here's how you defeat procrastination. I personally don't believe in procrastination. Here's a deeper and perhaps, heavier look at what I think is happening. So when you can't make progress towards a goal, when you can't sit down and do something, there's really only one reason. I guess there's two reasons. One reason might be that you're physically prevented from doing so. Someone is like locking you up and you just don't have the time. Another reason, which is a similar vein, maybe just literally don't have the energy. You're working, 80 hours a week and you're just physically unable to do it. But if that's not the case and you have the energy and you have the time and no one's stopping you, then the real reason is a little bit heavier. And that is that you don't want that goal. Whatever it is you think you want, that you're telling yourself you want, you don't actually want it. Because whenever you want something, your brain has a little calculation and it gives you energy to do it. So when you want to eat, for example, you don't have to convince yourself. You don't have to push yourself. You don't have to like make a plan or have like a Pomodoro or be like, all right, I'm gonna get myself. No, you just eat, right? If you want to pursue a girl or a guy and you don't have too many hangups, you just go after it. If you want to go outside, you do that. If you want to sleep, you do that. So when it's something you want, now, I know these are all physiological needs, right? But when it's something you want, you do it. And if you look back in your life, there's probably many other non-physio, like higher level needs that you have pursued when you wanted them. And no one had to tell you. You didn't have to play games with yourself. So when you have a long-term goal and you can't pursue it, it's because on a fundamental level, you don't actually want it. Now you might say, no, but I really do want it. I was working on this and then this thing happened and now I just can't get myself to do it. So you may want it with your head, right? You may want it intellectually, but here's what I mean by you don't really want it in reality. So all of us hopefully know Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And the fundamental layer is like physical safety, physiological needs. You're breathing, are you eating? And then, we'll go up some layers and it's like, social safety and like, I don't have it in front of me. But the top layer is self-actualization. The top level, the little triangle is like self-actualization. I want to be, the Buddha or make inventions or whatever it is. And most of the goals that people have in mind are at this top level. They're like the self-actualization goals. And the reason that you can't pursue those goals, even though you think you should, is because whether you know it or not, your lower level goals are not getting met. Your lower level needs, I should say. They're not goals, they're needs. Like if you're starving on the street, you're not going to be like doing math and discovering the next, theory of whatever. It's just not going to be happening. And that one's obvious, right? So we know that if we aren't fed and we're not sleeping and, we're sick, we can't do anything. But then a lot of us have this idea that, well, I could just ignore everything above that. I can be unhappy, but I should be able to pursue these self-actualization goals. And the reality is that maybe when you're young and you have a lot of energy, you can kind of push yourself, but that energy runs out. And at some point, you stop being able to force yourself to pursue abstract goals when your real needs are not being met. Usually, those needs are some kind of emotional well-being. And we can't really go into this video. But if you're unable, like if you're not starving and you have shelter, but you're still not able to pursue these self-actualization needs, it's because something between starving and self-actualization is not being met. And those are some kind of emotional needs. Are you lonely? Are you heartbroken because of a breakup? Or like, do you have some kind of trauma? So many of us have trauma. And if those things aren't taken care of, if they're not met, no matter how much you want to pursue these abstract ideas of what you think you want, your brain, the programming in your brain is just going to say, you know what? Even if I do those things, even if I let's say, one of these people wanted to be a computer scientist of some kind. I don't want to give personal information. And even if you become whatever, you get your PhD, your brain knows that's not going to make you happy because your fundamental needs are not being met. So if you're lonely and you're sad, getting a PhD won't make you feel better. If you get a better job, that won't make you feel better. One guy, I think it was the guy, one of them asked me this interesting question. It was, well, there's people out there who are starving who are in poverty and who have terrible lives, and they work. Why can't I work? Why can't I do what I need to do? And the answer is very simple. It's because those people need to work to survive. They're working to survive. They're working to get those physiological needs met. So you can be absolutely miserable, have no friends, and have nothing in your life, but your mind will give you energy to work towards physiological needs. But it won't give you energy to work towards self-actualization needs, because that's not going to make you feel better. Basically, you're not going to be a happier person by self-actualizing if those other needs are not met. So if you have a problem, if you find yourself that you can't make things happen, that you should, but you can't, stop fighting yourself. The worst thing you can do as a person for your mental health and therefore your real health is fight yourself. If you feel like, I just can't put energy into this, I don't know why, instead of trying to push harder and find some hack, okay, I'll do this technique, or I'll meditate more, find out what you're missing. And if you listen to yourself long enough and you think about it, you're going to find there's something fundamental, you're just fundamentally unhappy, or you're lonely, or you don't feel safe, or something, whatever it is. Look at this hierarchy of needs. And if it's not there, keep looking, because somewhere there's an answer of why you can't climb higher. There's something you're not getting. Maybe it's something you've never gotten, but there's something you're not getting that's preventing you from climbing higher. And it doesn't work to just push yourself through and ignore it, because everything, if the foundation is not solid, things crumble down. That's why you'll see people who work really hard have complete nervous breakdowns, because something is not happening. Their family life sucks, their personal life sucks, their inner life sucks. So address those things, and once you do, you will be able to naturally climb higher. Just like after your physiological needs are met, okay, I'm not starving. What do I do next? Well, okay, I want to not be starving tomorrow. Right? That's kind of the next level, like safety in the future versus, I'm not starving, let me build a spaceship. It doesn't work like that. All right. I hope this video was useful. I know you probably don't want to hear it. So many of us want to find the hack, find the tool. How do I ignore what I feel? How do I ignore that I don't feel good and do the thing I think I should? And guys, I'm so sorry, but you're not going to be able to. There is no hack. There's no way to break yourself for any amount of time and ignore your needs and then do the thing your brain tells you. It's not going to work. So don't try. Accept reality. This sounds woo-woo, but actually it's accept reality. You're a human being, and you can't strive for the sky when your fundamental basic needs are not being met. Again, I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.